Greetings, I am Pillar Nexus, the Ancient Gladiator, today with Pillar Lips Tabletop Games. Today's episode, a little two-player card game called Battle Line. The goal of the game is to claim flags with various troop formations before your opponent can do the same. You win if you can claim 3 flags adjacent to each other, or 5 flags in total. As part of the setup for the game, these little flag markers will be sitting out in a row. The troop cards will be shuffled and dealt out to each player, 7 each to start with. The tactics cards will also be shuffled, set off to the other side of the line. A random first player will take the first turn. On your turn, you can play a troop card or a tactics card from your hand, and then either draw a troop card or a tactics card. If you play a troop, you play it to a flag. You are limited to 3 troops at a flag. If you play tactics, you can only play it if you haven't already played more tactics than your opponent. So in order to capture a flag, you're going to need to build a formation. The highest ranking formation is the wedge. 3 cards of the same color and in consecutive values, 5, 6, 7. It doesn't matter what order you played the cards, as long as you can arrange them to eventually become the consecutive order. This is the highest rank. The rank beneath that is the phalanx. 3 cards of the same value. So, 3 7s. Red, green, and yellow. Failing that, the next rank below phalanx is battalion order. Any 3 cards of the same color. So 5, 7, 9, for example. And then below that is the skirmish line. 3 cards with consecutive values regardless of color. So there's the 5, 6, and 7. And finally, there's just 3 cards. Any 3 cards. It doesn't matter. That's your formation. It's called a host. Now, when comparing 2 formations in the same category, the higher sum of values wins the tie. So in order to beat this 5, 6, 7, adds up to an 18. In order to beat this wedge, the other player would have to play 6, 7, and 8 of the same color. Looking at their hands, they're not close enough to pulling that off. So before you draw your card from the deck, you can choose to claim 1 or more flags. To do this, you have to have a completed formation of 3 cards on your side. And you have to be able to prove that troop cards on the opponent's side of the flag cannot beat the formation. If the opponent's side also contains 3 cards, then it's obvious. I mean, let's say they wound up going for a battalion order, but I got my wedge first. Let's say they'd only play those ones. There is no way they can beat this. This will never become the wedge necessary to beat this wedge. So it's pretty clear that they're going to take the flag. So when a player successfully claims a flag, it moves to their side. Then no players can place further cards, and no tactics can affect it, and those cards stay there. This is now permanent open information for figuring out other lines of battle. As part of figuring out if your formation might be enough, you cannot use information from your own hand. And if formations on either side are tied, or at best could be tied, the player who played or would play the last card in the formation loses the flag. So, let's see here. Let's say, where is it? Let's say there's a purple 6 there instead. Even if the purple flag was sitting in that player's hand, that tie means that they would have played the last card, which means they get the flag instead. Again, as soon as a player has 5 flags or 3 adjacent, they win. It's possible to play multiple games, so the winner always gets 5 points, and the loser gets as many points as flags they scored. And you can probably play to, like, see, maybe 10 would be too easy. 15 or 20 points. 20 points sounds like a afternoon and a half. Well spent. Advanced rules for the game. A player can only claim a flag at the beginning of their turn, which gives this player enough time to, if maybe somehow they found the purple 8, stop that from happening. Another alternative rule that I've seen floating around is to take the tactics cards and set them aside. They do some really curious things. So they could swing the balance of the game very wildly. So if that's not something you want in the experience, then that's totally understandable. But I think it's worth trying the tactics at least once to see how they are. So, why do I like this game? It's quick. It's got some interesting strategy to it. You could try to focus on one front, or try to plan ahead for others, or play and hope that you get what you need to make the best formation you can for something. But if your opponent's holding on to the cards you're hoping for, then you're kind of screwed. So you gotta So you might be taking chances on the top of the deck. As much as planning with your own hand. But yeah, it's a quick game. Without the tactics, there's no real text to worry about. It's just a nice little 2-player game. And it's not too terribly expensive either. I got this one up in Springs. And it was reasonably affordable. Of course, I have to sleeve everything, so that added to the expense, but not too much. But yeah, if you just want a nice little 2-player standalone card game, Battleline is pretty good. Check it out. Thanks for watching. This has been Pillar, and I'll see you next time.